This is Mike Quick Switch, and you're listening to the Ultimate Fight Show on 740 The Game.
Time to talk trash.
On my worst day, I could beat the hell out of you.
Back to the Ultimate Fight Show on 740 The Game.
That's right, you're listening to the Ultimate Fight Show live on 740 The Game, brought to you by PokerVT.com, Tiger Martial Arts, Longwood, and Social Menace. We want to thank everybody that's listening to the show. Thank you to everybody that's in the chat rooms. If you want to give us a call tonight, talk about anything that we were talking about, maybe talk to Tom Lawlor, give us a call. It's 1-800-729-8255 or 407-916-8255. We are joined in studio by Tom the Filthy Mawlor Lawlor, an expert MMA analyst, new guy Bry. We got the big Strikeforce card coming up this week, guys. Sunday, Strikeforce in Miami. I'm pretty excited about this one. Not only do you have Nick Diaz in the main event, but you also have Bob Lashley from the WWE, who's kind of a beast. And then you have the MMA debut of Herschel Walker, which I'm pretty excited to see. And then you have that championship bout with Gina Carano. So let's talk about this Strikeforce card, man. What do you think? Who do you like in the Cyborg?
Cyborg all the way. She destroyed Gina Carano last time they fought. She looks to be unstoppable. I mean, if you watch any film of her at all, she's born to do this, man. She's a fighter. And
I'm afraid of your answer, Tom. Who do you like in that fight? Christina Santos or Marlos Conan?
Well, Marlos Conan's been around for a long time.
She has a much better record, doesn't she?
Yeah, she was one of the pioneers of female MMA and coming out of Golden Glory. But a lot of people talk about how explosive Santos' striking is and how strong she is, but I don't think a lot of people give her enough credit as far as grappling goes. Out at Abu Dhabi, the Abu Dhabi grappling tournament, she took third in her weight class. The match that she lost, if you're watching it, you're thinking she won. So her grappling's no joke. So I'd definitely say Cyborg. I don't think anyone could touch her.
You know what else is going to be exciting that night is the Robbie Lawler fight versus Melvin Manhoff. You know, not everybody has heard of Manhoff, but he's a beast.
Somebody's getting knocked out.
And I'm looking for. I think Robbie Lawler is going to get knocked out that night. Melvin is from Amsterdam. He is a big, huge mammal. I'm going to tell you. I think he's going to knock out Robbie Lawler. What do you think, Tom?
It all comes down to game plan. If Robbie Lawler, tries to man up and stand with Manhoef, he's going to get knocked out bad. If he goes ahead and plays a smart game and draws him into a little bit of a striking battle and uses that to his advantage to get the takedown, Manhoef is 100%. He makes no bones about it. He's terrible on the ground, and he knows it. And he's even said he just does not train the ground. So if I'm Robbie Lawler, I'm taking him down. And I think Lawler's going to be smart enough to do that, to tell you the truth.
Does he have ground game? See, I've never seen him take anything to the ground.
He has decent wrestling from what I've seen, and he has heavy hands. So I'm sure if he gets on top of Manhoef, which it's not an easy task, but Manhoef's takedown offense is not great. I think Lawler's going to go ahead and ground and pound him on the ground.
Lawler's a seasoned vet. I don't know if you can count him out. It's just a situation where can you get inside on Manhoef? And at some point, the guy can say, I'm not good on the ground, not good on the ground. You got to believe that the guy's training his takedown defense. You got to believe that he's training his escapes, and you got to believe that he's training his ground and pound defense.
I really don't think he is.
I hope he is. I want an exciting fight. It's one of those things. Robbie Lawler, I've watched a lot of his fights. I'm a big fan of his, and I'd hate to see him get taken out or something in the first round. I want that fight to go all three and have it be something really exciting and worth watching.
One thing about Melvin Manhoef is he trains at a gym in Amsterdam that's primarily kickboxing, Mike's gym, which actually burnt down a few months ago. Wow. So I do not think his training is optimal for this fight. And one thing, you said that Lawler might have a hard time getting in on him. Manhoef's shorter than Lawler, and he rushes in a lot. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think Manhoef will actually come to him and perhaps kind of give him the takedown.
Well, one of the things, and like I was saying before, I wouldn't want to see Lawler take him down and pound him out in the first and have it be that one side. I wouldn't want to see Manhoef take Lawler out because this is the fight that I'm the most excited about on this entire card, to be honest with you. Isn't that the difference between a good fighter and a great fighter, though, Tom? I mean, at what point do you wake up, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I can't not get taken down? Maybe I ought to train at a wrestling gym.
Well, Manhoof has trained at American Top Team down in Coconut Creek. I'm not sure how
Very
long.
good school.
I'm not sure how long he did his training down there, but it seems as if he's gone back to his game plan of just trying to stand up with the guy and not necessarily focus on his ground game. His stand up is good enough that he could probably just focus on the ground game for a while and catch up. And not lose anything.
That's pretty much
striking.
it's pretty much what I was getting at. It's why even bother? The guy's a world-class striker. So
we have a question from someone in the chat room right now. Johnny Nyquil. He wrote. He wants to know if you think that there is a heavyweight standard, or do you think that they should make a super heavyweight division for the beast fighters?
Right now, I'd say there's really no reason to have a super heavyweight division as far as marketing it on a regular basis. One of the things is, as guys, sure, there's guys who are really big. There's guys who are very muscular and can stay in good shape, but there seems to be a size limit on that to where it becomes detrimental. Guys like Hongman Choi, Bob Sapp, some of these other guys.
They get gassed out too easy.
They're almost too big. They gas out too easily. And eventually they're really going to have health problems. So I'm not sure that it's really beneficial to be that big. And we haven't seen results from guys that are that big, really.
I hear you, man. So I guess that's a good answer. I think that maybe that would be a little bit too big, but you got people like Brock Lesnar who actually have to cut weight for the heavyweight division. Now we have you guys have heard about Dan Hardy is going to be fighting St. Pierre, and we have that to show you. I also wanted to talk about. Did you guys hear about how Tito Ortiz is calling out Chuck Liddell? He's saying that he's an alcoholic. We actually have some audio on that. This is Tito Ortiz calling out Chuck Liddell.
I think he had a problem, a lot of people go through addiction. I think his deal was he was an alcoholic. And thank God that Damon gave him an intervention, and he's sober now. He's been sober since November, and he looks like a different person.
Now, that's pretty crazy. I mean, even if it is true, number one, I think Tito why would you say that on the radio?
I think he likes getting beat up by Chuck, man. As he's sort of made a name for himself on it. He's a successful individual. He's been on several primetime network television reality shows. He's got a clothing brand that's successful. Maybe he's just a glutton for punishment.
Listen to what else Tito said. This is the funniest part.
It's going to be easy to make him look stupid.
One more time.
It's going to be easy to make him look stupid.
I don't know about that.
This is coming from a guy who literally got a spanking in the octagon from Randy Couture. Yeah, I just, at some point, man, you got to learn your lesson, and I don't think Tito's time has gotten there yet, but it very well may after this third and final fight.
Yeah, I mean, Tito's looking good. It looks like he's pretty focused. He did good against Forrest Griffin, but I think we all know he's going to get knocked out when Chuck gets in the cage. The other thing I wanted to show you guys was, that Dan Hardy is going to be fighting St. Pierre, and you have a lot of talk from Koscheck and all those guys out there at AKA. Koscheck is saying basically that he doesn't think he deserves the title. This is what Dan Hardy said about Koscheck.
The thing I've come to realize about Josh Koscheck is that he's kind of like a turd that won't flush away.
That's nice, man. I just figured I'd show you guys. That's pretty good, huh? What else did he say, Tom, about the Fraggle?
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I said Dan Hardy, but I believe it was Paul Daly that said he was going to rock that Fraggle.
Oh, yeah, that was. Well, we're pretty much out of time, guys. I want to thank you, Tom Lawler, for coming in. I also want to thank Scuba Steve, the man making it all happen. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it, man. I want to thank New Guy Bry. You do a lot for the show, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you to PokerVT.com. Thank you to TigerMartialArts.com. And thank you to Social Menace. You have heard the Ultimate Fight Show on 740 The Game.